What's up, players? WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. I just want to endorse some of my brothers that are doing an outstanding job of podcast. I'm talking about the first Black Champ podcast, one of the greatest podcasts of all time, and it's growing and growing each and every day. Talking about my man, J.R. Bang and Champ from the Port. Players, you better take a listen to them, and if you don't, I'll have J.R. Bang and Champ put them in a tag team match, and it's going to be a lot of trouble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. What's happening? Good day to all of you out there, wherever you are. Happy MAGA weekend. Happy. Happy... Hey, listen. Happy MAGA weekend.
Oh.
Hope your America Day was special out there if you celebrate like that. And for all of my 15 days after Juneteenth people, salute to you. And hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, I just got I did the knowledge, if you will, on the Black American National Heritage flag. You know what I'm saying? So I will be getting some of those right now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, and nothing's more America and nothing's more MAGA to a degree than wrestling. So you are in the right place. If you're here to talk wrestling and talk wrestling like nobody else in the world, I watched one of the Great American Bashes. Didn't realize at the time it was one of the most pivotal Great American Bashes.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about that too.
For sure.
I was going to ask you about that.
So listen, we got a lot of wrestling content to get to. And hey, listen, man, nobody's going to give it to you like us. That's what she said. Hey, so let's get ready. It is time for the first Black Champ podcast. And yeah, man, I'm still your podcast intercontinental champion. Tough guys. Camp from the Port.
And I am J.R. Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershop Network, home of First Black Champ. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. Make sure you follow us on everything at the FBC POD. Great show planned for you. Shouts out to my man Young Chris, Neef Buck, Rail. Part of this show is for the ladies. For the ladies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, part of this show is for the ladies. But I wanted to ask Camp, because I saw that you was watching some Great American Bashes. But before we even get there, question how MAGA is Cody? Because while on the surface, and you got on the joint, but at the same time, I saw Ricky Starks tell my man happy birthday and called him Raheem, because, you know, they call him Cody Raheem Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, you know, of his marriage. I famously said that that Cody Rhodes would be future endeavored after his marriage. Things would go downhill, and that was literally the first wrestling Bang Be Knowing moment. So there's that piece right there. And then he's gonna play Guile. Is it Guile for Street Fighter? Like, how do y'all pronounce that shit?
Look, I say Guile.
Okay, I say Guile.
You know what I'm saying? I think the game, wildly enough, but this might have been like Street Fighter, like arcade edition. It said like Gully, but that didn't. He's American. It should just be Guile.
Yeah, but he's gonna play Guile in Street Fighter, the live action. So him and Roman Reigns will be in the movie. Roman Reigns will be playing Akuma in the joint. So my question to you is how MAGA? Like, if you had to put Cody Rhodes on the MAGA scale, like, where would he be on the MAGA scale?
So if we were going OG MAGA, he only like a 6. And because his dad is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Right.
However, for New Age MAGA, which I'm learning here. New Age MAGA, because we do call him Cody Raheem Rhodes, because he does, he is in an interracial relationship, interracial marriage, has biracial children. For the new generation of MAGA, he is an 8. He is an 8 because the new white people, like the ones that are like shunning, like boomer mentality, they're all like race mixing. They celebrate Juneteenth and want to know the history, and some of us, they already beaten us in knowing Juneteenth, but they still gonna vote Republican. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it's gonna be. Hey, listen, JD Vance's wife not being white during the election, that's literally, that's new MAGA. That's new MAGA.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Like, and you have those MAGA people that ain't gonna tell you who they voting for.
There you go.
And then you have, and it's not even undercover. They just like for example, Roman Reigns said he's a fan of President Trump. So like Samoan MAGA, you know what I'm saying? I wonder, and then like I wonder, like when you look at all the people in their family, like who might be the least MAGA in the Noi Fatu family, like who might be the least MAGA, and why I don't believe it's Jacob Fatu.
No, the least MAGA is Jimmy. He's absolutely the least MAGA.
Okay.
I could see Jimmy at the DNC. You know what I'm saying?
So if we had to put the family, the Samoan dynasty, on a MAGA scale, is Roman Reigns at the top?
For sure.
Jimmy at the bottom.
Yep, absolutely. On a scale of Jimmy to Joseph. Okay, be clear. Jimmy to Joseph. How MAGA will the Samoan dynasty be? Yeah. Yep, I like that. Because Jay is probably like a 5 or 6 now because he's seeing the money. But for me, I would say Solo's probably at like a 3. You know what I'm saying? Again, he's the BET movie supervillain. He's not that high on the list. So yeah, I like that.
So we got a MAGA list. Boom, boom. Because clearly Roman's MAGA. You know, he's a fan of the once you come on a publication talking about how much of a fan you are of the president, we've already classified you as high-end MAGA.
Yeah. The only thing Roman Reigns hasn't done is said Republicans buy wrestling tickets too. That's the only thing he ain't done. That's it.
That's a great point. And I'm also thinking like if those conversations happen at the barbecues, like if somebody was at the barbecue and was like, Roman, what would you think? It's like, at the 4th of July. Like it's the 4th of July weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So I wonder if somebody approached them like, yo, what you doing, fam? Like, hey, they got me. They got me. They called me. And just thinking about that as you talked about the Great American Bash. All right, what did you learn from the Great American Bash? Because let me first say, I think for WCW, and I see B-Dot is here. I know B-Dot used to ask us like what to watch, like what old shit to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
I've noticed for Great American Bash back in the day, it was, and I might be wrong, WCW nights, whatever. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But Starrcade was WrestleMania. Great American Bash was SummerSlam. It was the second one.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like did Super Brawl take that over at one point?
No. So Super Brawl, honestly, was trying to take that Survivor Series love because you know what I'm saying. But no, listen, especially for the one I watched, which was the 1991 Great American Bash.
Oh,
this was absolutely SummerSlam.
Was that when Sting fucked his knee up?
Well, no. That was Sting, Nikita Koloff in the Russian chain match. And
yeah.
And that was cage match for the vacated world title. This is why it's so important. Barry Windham versus Lex Luger.
Double turn.
Yep.
Haha. Yes.
Yep. And also Paulie and Arn Anderson going against Missy Hyatt and damn, what's my man's name? Damn, I'm forgetting that quick. But before the match even gets started,
I got the rundown right now.
Okay, let's do it.
You always watch some shit with PN News in it, fam. Like
I know, right? Hey, and it was literally like I was like 91. I was like, oh yeah, bet. Let me check this one out. First face I see. I was like, oh, well, damn it.
And a scaffold match at that.
Yeah,
this big ass was a scaffold match.
He was in the star-studded match too. He in there with the TV champ and beautiful Bobby.
Right. So the first match of the night is PN News and Bobby Eaton versus Steve Austin and Terrence Taylor, a capture the flag scaffold match for a big nigga. I'm sorry. I ain't doing that. Yeah. I'm not doing that at all. No.
Yeah, man. Ultra mid-pack on that match, by the way. Yeah. That's when I know people talk about, oh, Viagra on the pole. That's so stupid. And you're right. But hey, this ain't far from that. Like, first of all, man, they needed just 10 slabs of plywood down there for PN News to even look like he should be mobile up there. That was the one thing. But yeah, man, this match looked like me trying to get over my fear of heights at the fair. That's what this looked like.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. The Diamond Stud, aka Scott Hall, with Diamond Dallas Page, defeats Tom Zink in a singles match.
God. Yeah.
Ron Simmons defeated Oz.
Yeah. Hey, and right here, see, man, if we were watching wrestling like we watch it now, boy, Jim Ross told us Ron Simmons was next.
I gotta watch that.
He's putting him over on a Michael Cole level, to be honest, in this match. And I was like, oh, really? Damn, he even said, he was like, I can see him being the future world champion. I was like, oh, wow. Wait a minute. So that this not the audible I thought it was. Because they already don't have a champ that night. They don't have one. Ric Flair is gone. Matter of fact, they kick off the show after the scaffold match. I'm sorry, before we get to the card, because this is important. They kick off the match, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, which, hey, yo, as a tandem, I don't like them together.
No.
Yeah. That's why it's not what they do. Yeah.
I didn't like them then. I don't like them now.
Yeah. They're not the team to be together, by the way. But they literally addressed the controversy around them not having their world title anymore. And they even say, hey, Ric Flair just refused his contract. So he's gone. And we need a new world champion. So we have a new world title. They literally talk all of this up without saying Vince McMahon, WWF, like anything. They don't even say where he go, no nothing. They're just saying like, hey, look, the WCW top 10, 1 and 2, about to wrestle for the title tonight in the steel cage. Like well, not in the steel cage, because that's WWF lingo. But they say that they're going to be in the cage match. And they give you the WCW top 10. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, so I'm geeked as I watch this, because I just realized I'd never seen that Great American Bash before.
I watched it, but not in the way you watched it.
Yeah, because I was wondering. I was like, yo, how can Ric Flair show up with the belt like this? And sure enough, they explain it in that pay-per-view.
So, because something happened, like when I see this card, that I don't know if I saw one of these matches or paid attention. Maybe I lost it after a certain point. But in the longest match of the night, Richard Morton, when he had slid over to the York Foundation, defeats Robert Gibson. So the Rock and Roll Express breakup, and Richard Morton wins in a match. Well, no, the second longest match. That was a 17-minute match. Wow.
Yeah, and it felt like it. Literally, it felt like it. Listen, the Rock and Roll Express breaking up. You want to talk about pointless heel turns? It's up there. That's up there. And even for the ending of this match is so wild because Robert Gibson get hit over the head with the computer. Well, he's like more in the back though, from Ricky Morton going off for the top rope. And instead of him throwing the computer out in front of him, he threw it back in the corner, and the ref absolutely see it. but he tried to double take like he don't see it to make the pin. As a matter of fact, as we get this far into the match, there's barely any finishers. Like
no
people, like
Ooh.
I forgot that about WCW. I forgot that you just win the match. It ain't no. Oh, he's setting them up for the. No, it ain't nothing. Hey, look,
they ain't started doing that shit since like '93.
Yeah. so like literally, the roll up, the motherfucking random suplex into the pin,
the flying body press. Like WCW didn't care
shoulder
about a
block.
finisher. Hey. They had one, they just didn't care.
Yeah, hey, listen. When Ron Simmons beat Oz with the shoulder block, and it was such after 2 chop blocks, he beat him with 2 chop blocks and the shoulder block, and I was like, and Jim Ross just put him over as being the next world champ. He didn't do anything spectacular.
No. Did Jim Ross say outside of Florida State, Warner Robins, Georgia, second in the Heisman Trophy? Like, did he say he did some shit when he was like 12?
Listen. Jim Ross was going absolutely crazy this entire pay-per-view. For Ron Simmons specifically, everything you just mentioned, plus when he got his jersey retired by Florida State, when his intro into wrestling, man, he did his own tale of the tape, his family up, like, dog. Jim Ross had so many facts. He was literally Axe Jeeves. No way that damn Jim Ross was not Axe Jeeves from start to finish on this whole Great American Bash. And Tony Schiavone, such a deer in the headlights, just trying to make something make sense. Because if he giving you all the facts, because neither one of them is the color guy, that's the problem. And so he'll run this whole laundry list, right? And then Tony Schiavone would be like, well, man, yeah, he's really big and strong, and he's just slamming Oz. Just like, all right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying, fam. Like, that man, I rock with him. I rock with old new Jim Ross. That's how I call it, old new Jim Ross. The more I watch old WCW shit, I'd be like, man, Jim Ross needs to shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care about Tom Zink winning the punt, pass, the kick contest.
Man, hey,
when
listen.
He was 12. Don't. I really don't.
And Jim Ross be having the facts. Yo.
Yeah, like Jim Ross be sitting there with all of the most random, but how do you know this facts? Like, did you go to Tom Zink and was like, yo, give me some of your top 3 achievements as a shorty?
Yeah, right.
When did you lose your virginity, Tom Zink? Like, did you like Tom Zink, he lost his virginity after prom at the age of 17. He's been a wild boy ever since. Like, what are we talking about, Jim Ross? That's why when his ass got the WrestleMania 9, I know Vince McMahon was in his ears like, yo, hey.
Man.
Nobody give a damn about his history, fam. Nobody care.
Facts, though. Because it's so many facts. Like, I'm guessing he's doing it for either the casual fan, right? The casual onlooker, or just in case you are one of those people that lean so heavy on wrestling is fake. These ain't real athletes. They don't really get busy. Jim Ross has enough facts about their real life to where you sound like you hate. I will say that. It sounds like you hate. Like, yeah, hey, look, after everything he had to say about Tom Zink and Scott Hall and Ricky and Robert. Like, I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, man, damn, I'm hating if I don't cheer for Ron Simmons at this point.
Now, in the longest match of the night, 17 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Dustin Rhodes and the Young Pistols defeated the Fabulous Freebirds. Yeah. Michael Hayes, Jimmy Garvin, and Bad Street.
Man, boy, hey.
In an elimination match.
Dude, this match took so long because the Young Pistols were so bad. Like, that's really why this match took so long. Ricky and Robert, I'm guessing that they were just the two biggest legends, and they just let them cook. Because for everybody that may not know, may not be aware, you know, this happened before the Rockers broke up. I think by like a year, right? A year or two? Or am I?
Yeah. Rockers broke up around the same time.
Yes. But however, the worst part about this, especially for me, because I see the Red Rooster first, right? So when Terrence Taylor goes to WCW, I'm like, oh, he ain't got the red mohawk or whatever no more. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I shouldn't have did that.
And and even though, hey, listen, I super mess with the gimmick. The computerized man of the 90s is actually a great gimmick, and somebody needs to bring it back and talking about, yo, I'm the AI wrestler. Like this is a fire gimmick. So don't get me wrong. And he still didn't kill this. He was tripping up being the Red Rooster. He didn't kill this either. But the fact that at this time, 1991, the Rock and Roll Express are considered by many, and I do mean like a majority, maybe like 51 to 52%, especially with the way the Freebirds look right now. They're considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest tag team of all time.
At that time, yes.
And they're breaking up. And they break up because Ricky Morton attacks Robert Gibson, as is a long time coming, to join the York Foundation. So he don't even break up the Rock and Roll Express to be a solo star. He, in my mind, I'm 10, he leave the Rock and Roll Express to join the Red Rooster. So I'm like, yo, this week.
All right, so real quick, I know the old heads be getting mad at us sometimes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This is one of those things where y'all gonna have to answer this. Like, the Rock and Roll Express broke up for them niggas to be mid-carders.
Yeah, literally. Like, nobody became a star from this. Like, that was definitely one of the most pointless breakups of a tag team I think I've ever seen. Personally, I've ever seen.
Because to add to that, you're talking about Ricky Morton, who had an amazing match with Ric Flair for the world title.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all break them up and send them to the York Foundation to go up against Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah. It's just, dog. And the thing is, and again, because of who they are, I do understand why this match was 17 minutes. Because of who they are. Yeah, they're supposed to get ample TV time, but they I honestly, watching this match, chemistry works in two different ways. Rock and Roll Express tag matches, far greater than Ricky versus Robert. Not for me. Not for me.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But I'm sorry. We were talking about Dustin Rhodes and the Young Pistols.
So I was gonna give my Jim Ross fun fact for those who might not know. Do it. Steve Armstrong, former WWE referee, and the Bad Street brothers. Brad Armstrong was Bad Street. So brothers was in this match, ladies and gentlemen. One was under a mask and one was a young pistol. Pow pow.
Yeah. Hey, and shout to Bad Street, because I was like, yo, they got the Tribe Called Quest person wrestling when I was a kid. It's just funny to me. I was like, yo, he just like the Tribe Called Quest logo. Oh man. Well, yeah. Hey, and shout out to Gary Michael Capetta actually calling Steve's mother Steve Armstrong during the match, and even and even Jim Ross and so Shivani paused like, wait, that's not that's his government name. You can't. Hey, there's a lot of flubs throughout this pay-per-view too. I guarantee y'all just go back and watch it. It's hilarious. But real talk, the Young Pistols, they are cheeks. They were super cheeks. Like the ring timing was off. At one point, I think Tracy was getting beat up, and Steve, who tagged in, was just in the ring for way more than 5 seconds, and the ref just letting the match go on because it's supposed to be a 6-man elimination match, but all the eliminations took about 3 minutes. The other 12 to 15, 14 minutes of this match was them literally trying to wrestle. And lucky Dustin Rhodes is in there and Michael Hayes. But no, this was a terrible match. It was a terrible match, and it's because of the Young Pistols. Hey, for everything that we gave flack about for Vince McMahon doing the characters, boy, he got the smoking guns right, because that's what they thought they were, and this wasn't that.
And Tracy Smothers eventually ends up in the WWE as Freddie Joe Floyd, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
So we saw how that worked out. Look, the only thing, and the wrist got a fucking hurting my shoulder even more. But the one thing that I got out of the Young Pistols pause is this, like when they doing that shit and like that shit, like
basically.
Like, motherfuckers celebrate their ass off. Motherfuckers celebrate their ass off. Like doing that shit. Like WCW is good for the motherfuckers that do that shit. It's like Hulk Hogan and everybody else be doing that shit. Like, he's revving up. Like, that shit get on my nerves. Like, nigga, man,
hey, the face power up. Yeah, Tom Zink did it a few times. Yeah. Young Pistols, they was there. Everybody, come on.
Yeah,
like, bro, we're not here for that. We're not here for you, bro.
That's the one. Like, even though y'all love that shit, I used to hate when the faces, they. Like, what are we doing here, fam? Like, y'all need to do something different. Like, thank God for the Undertaker that just looked, but Hulk Hogan and y'all people that do that shit, like that shit used to get on my nerves, fam. The Yellow Dog, and my shoulder's hurting me now. That shit's burning right now too. The Yellow Dog defeated Johnny B. Bad.
Yes.
By disqualification. Was like Barry Windham come out?
No, so. You remember this. Yeah. So eventually the Yellow Dog went from the whole like conquistador fit with the mask to just the mask and the trunks. Well, the tights, if you will. So this is during the period where there was a bounty on the Yellow Dog.
Yeah.
And if you I forgot what you won besides money, but you had the mask, you had to unmask the Yellow Dog to prove that it was Flying Brian. So Johnny B. Bad comes in the game. I don't know if y'all know this. You heard him at the beginning of the show. Teddy Long was the original manager for Johnny B. Bad. And I want to say this is this one obviously wasn't his like debut, but like I think this might have been the first PLE for Johnny B. Bad.
Around 1991, that's it. That's like that.
So this is what's so funny about this match. Because for all things considered, Johnny B. Bad could have won. He could have won the match. It was a catch as catch can. It was tooth and nail. And I think a pin attempt in which Johnny B. Bad kicked out of, Teddy Long just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going in the ring and try to take the mask off. It was unprompted.
Let's get this money.
They was in one corner, he in the other corner. He literally just comes in the ring and was just like, and just trying to take the mask off so the ref disqualify him. And then, then Johnny B. Bad hit him with the you know what I'm saying, and knock him out. But they don't try to take the mask off. They'll even try. I was like, but wait, you hit him with the joint. You hit him with the head. Like, why didn't you take the mask off? Matter of fact, not only did he not take the mask off, but the yellow dog is the first person that he don't knock out with the left hook, because he just knock him out the ring and he like disoriented, but he still got the mask on. Hey, your fun fact during this match that Jim Ross delivered, Johnny B. Bad, Golden Gloves winner, fought Razor Ruddock. Jim Ross is the man. Hey, hey,
wait a minute, hold on. Let me. I'm saying why, but I had to think about it. I think at that time, Razor Ruddock fought Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Before Mike Tyson went to jail.
Yep. Absolutely.
They had the back-to-back joint. Let me make sure of that time. In 1991, he had lost both matches with Mike Tyson, March 18th and June 28th. At the Mirage, he got TKO'd by Mike. And then the second match was a unanimous decision by Mike. So yeah, perfect timing, Jim Ross.
Yep. Hey,
perfect timing, Jim.
He got it off. I forgot who else he said, but he was like, but yeah, because he brought up Mike Tyson too. He was like, so man, he was like, basically, he let his hands go. It's not a game. Like he really out here. He'll knock you out. And I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, Razor Ruddock, okay.
Now, in a match when I first saw the names, I was like, this has got to be the worst match on this card until I saw the next match. The first match is Big Josh, a.k.a. Matt Osborne, a.k.a. Matt Bourne, a.k.a. Doink the Clown, versus Black Blood, a.k.a. Billy Jack Haynes. Now, if you watched the Dark Side of the Ring with Billy Jack Haynes, that man's crazy. And then if you watched it about Doink or Matt Bourne, he's crazy too. So I am not for sure if this is one of the first matches between Dark Side of the Ring members in a specialty match. Why? Because this match was a lumberjack match for, I guess, reasons of Big Josh is a lumberjack. I don't know how you make a specialty match because this dude is a lumberjack with people needing help. I am not for sure, but this on paper looks like shit.
Yeah, and you're not necessarily wrong. So, much like when Tom Zink came out with the hose, I didn't get it. I didn't even get why this match was on the card. As I'm sitting there, I was just like, okay, Big Josh was Black Blood. I was like, damn, I forgot they did this whole Black Blood thing. Like, what is this? And literally, this was WCW Saturday Night with the Junkyard Dog out there. And like they did the Hardliners got most of their work in just outside the ring. So like, so the Hardliners are there. The Lumberjacks were more star-studded than the actual participants in the match.
Let's go back to the Hardliners real quick.
Yeah, they was wild.
Let me go back to the Hardliners real quick, because the Hardliners, probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't wanna. I know one of them was right. I know one of them was, but this feels like the most racist tag team of all time. Even though Dick Slater was messing with Dark Journey, Dick Murdoch is supposedly a member of the Klan.
Oh yeah, no, he is. After I watched Tony Atlas, he's a Klan member.
And both of their names are Dick.
There you go. Yeah, Dicks are in the Klan.
The Hardliners just felt like when they came in and they whooped the Steiner brothers' ass, on WCW Pro Wrestling, I was like, yo, the old white dude's back. Because I knew who both of these guys were. It's like, oh man, the old white dudes are back and they beating the Steiner brothers' ass. However, something just felt off to me in 1991. Something felt off to me at 9. Something felt off to me about the Hardliners. So every time I hear Dirty Dick Murdoch's story, it's like, yeah, I knew something was off. Now, Dick Slater whooping Sting's ass because Sting started messing with his black girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. Dick Slater kind of beat the allegations. Kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of. But learning how he beat the shit out of Sting and supposedly flushed Sting's face for messing with his black ex-girlfriend. They weren't even together. That was his ex. They was like, no, you don't mess with the ex fam.
That's mine, boy.
It's mine, boy. And being that changed Sting forever, knowing that Sting got his ass whooped over messing with a black girl and it's changed his life forever, not in the way that most interracial relationships start, is wild. Dick Slater kind of beat the allegations. Dick Murdoch, though? Nope.
Yeah, Dick Murdoch can't beat the allegations. He just can't.
Can't.
I mean, hey, look, the only thing I want to know for Dick Slater is that if they were calling him Dirty Dick Slater because he had a black girlfriend, then we have some problems. We got some problems then. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Dick Slater, listen, we ain't heard nothing to confirm it. You stood up for black women when it definitely went popular in your circle. And you was born in May. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. Like your birthday right between ours. So,
get a pass just right now.
You know what I'm saying? We might, you know what I'm saying, shout your name out the next May days. We might. We got to do some more research, though.
We might. Now, in what looks on paper the worst match in televised history, Elegante wrestled the one-man gang with Kevin Sullivan in a match that went 6 minutes long.
Yeah. And it definitely felt longer than that. So that this is when Kevin Sullivan is really starting to ramp up the Dungeon of Doom. And all of the big mid-carders from WWF were just like his lackeys and flunkies. One-man gang, or like I think it was Tony Schiavone called him the OMG, and I was like, oh, hey, you might have won. Hey, look, this era, you might have got that off, and he would have been trending. Like the OMG though.
Not in 91.
In 91, he said the OMG. And like he came out there like he was on like meth. He looked tweaked. He looked tweaked out, like just to say the least. And Jim Ross is so here's the most important piece of this. Here's the most important piece of this, because again, remember I told y'all they started off by talking about how Ric Flair gone with the belt, and it's a wrap for all of that. When they get to Elegante and they talking about him, Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone are speaking about how he's improving as a wrestler. He likes being in WCW. He likes wrestling in America. And we're hoping that this leads to something big in the future for him. It's 1991. Guess where he ends up? Hey, yo. There needs to be a documentary on Vince McMahon from 90 to 92, because he's obviously like, oh, everybody that y'all think it's worth a damn, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
And you can have the one-man gang.
Yeah. I had him already, Paul.
Yeah.
You know how that worked out.
Like, dog, like it's crazy. He was, oh, y'all got Mr. Hughes back. Nah, I'm a circle on him though. I'm a circle on him. He's, are you on
He'll be
Harley
back.
Race? Cool. Hey, because if you, as a matter of fact, even if you look at this roster again, this is 91. Even the world champ, even the world champ, by the time they end this pay-per-view, ain't there by 93.
Yeah.
You
Soon
know,
after.
Vince McMahon. See, when you see it from this angle, I don't see why Eric Bischoff be talking the way he talking. Because he was like, bro, as soon as somebody get hot over here, this nigga on him. Like, what is we doing?
God damn. Nikita Koloff versus Sting in a Russian chain match. Now, let me just say, shouts out to Nikita Koloff, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you talking about somebody that upholds the gimmick like none other, that man changed his name.
Yeah.
There's people in life that think that Nikita Koloff is really from Russia, but this nigga in Minnesota and went to school with like Ravishing Rick Rude and them.
Yeah, man. And with my 44-year-old eyes, he don't look Russian at all.
At all. Look like a white man named Greg who drives trucks. But but majority of our life, we was like Nikita Koloff, Russian sickle, clothesline. At Super Brawl, clothesline Sting trying to get Lex Luger, busted Sting open.
Yeah.
Sting got mad and ran, even though he was busted open. How you no sell or busted open is crazy.
Man.
That's what Sting did.
Yeah, hey. Yes. Hey, so listen. After you get off of this super duper mid pack of Big Josh and Black Blood and Elegante versus One Man Gang, which that match ended so randomly. I can't even tell you the finish. Like nobody did nothing. I think somebody just got pinned. And it was just over. Like I can't even tell you. like he literally might have been like, and pinned him, and it was over. I don't even remember what he did. I just know he cut his hair by then. But Nikita Koloff versus Sting. So now, the funniest thing about this is Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone going back and forth about how the Russian chain match. See, this is why it's never booked a lot, because you just never know what to expect. But yet, it's literally the Texas strap match with a chain. That's all it is. It's the only thing it is. But boy, are they selling the hell out of the fact that this Russian chain, the Russian chain that the Nikita Koloff came down. Yep, it's not American.
It's Russian.
And it was so Russian that Nikita Koloff had to come down there with it.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's to make you know
around
it's
his
Russia.
arm, right? He had that joint around his arm, right?
Yep. Hey, and then he wrapped it around and dropped the elbow. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's why the Russian chain match is so dangerous. Because the Russian chain, it can cause a lot of damage.
It's like coal miner's glove, but with a chain.
Facts. Detrimental to your career if you get hit too many times with it. But what was so dope about this? I think this is one of the blueprints for all the strap matches and everything that's happened in this era. Just by the way that they had this, but by the way of the finish. This by far was the best finish of the night. I'll even go as far as to say it was the best match of the night because you got two guys that one really sold the specialty in their match, but also it ends in controversy. But it was it was solid. It was just a solid match. They literally should have put this at the end, but I get it. But even though how they actually ended the match and ended the night didn't make sense either. Like the match that should have been ahead of this is the last match.
And Nikita Koloff and Sting always gave you real fighting hours.
Mm-hmm.
Their matches look realistic. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had said how WCW felt like real wrestling to us in a certain period of time. This is real fighting hours. Like they go to it. And anytime they got to it, it's like we selling, we no selling, we bleeding, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Which leads to the last or not the last match of the night.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Lex Luger versus Barry Windham for the WCW World Championship, which was, if I remember correctly, the TV championship, but they put world title on it because they didn't do it in a time enough fashion to get a new belt. Lex Luger defeats Barry Windham in a double turn. Harley Race helps Lex Luger win the championship, and that's when we see the attitude adjustment from Lex Luger for the first time. The Pile Driver. I remember not watching this, but seeing WCW Pro Wrestling and them saying that the title had changed hands. And Lex Luger was the champion. He won it with the attitude adjustment, Pile Driver, and now he's a bad guy. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
why? I remember this vividly. See, back in our day, there was no internet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
You had to wait to the next show.
We had to wait to the next televised show.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh shit. And back in my hood, everybody ain't have cable, let alone was buying pay-per-views. So if you came to school and you told anything about a pay-per-view that week, because we had to wait a week too. Let that be known. It wasn't Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
It wasn't Monday Night Raw, and it wasn't Nitro. It was simply pay-per-view on Sunday. Saturday, you'll find out what happened if you ain't watch it on Sunday or you ain't watch it on the Tuesday replay on pay-per-view. That was time. That was stress and anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Clash of the Champions, like it wasn't no on demand. You kind of had to catch that Wednesday or Thursday it came on, or you missed it, and you hope TBS will play it back. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what was I gonna say on this match? Oh yeah. So what was so wild? Because the way they sold it to us, I'm thinking, oh wow, I can't wait for this. Because you're right. The title that they brought out had a nameplate over the label of the title. And Steve Austin did not come out at the first match of the night with his belt. Like he did not come out with his title at all. So the wild thing about this, though, this match ends because it's kind of a stalemate. Shout out to Barry Windham because this is the Barry Windham show. I love that his finisher definitely was the lariat off the top rope, and it didn't work. And I was a little upset about that. I was like, oh, see, Barry Windham supposed to be the champ. Dog, why did this match end with Harley Race and Mr. Hughes walking out? Because remember, y'all, this is another turning point. There's a couple changes going on here. Mr. Hughes was a member of the York Foundation.
Yeah.
Until the night of the Great American Bash. When he walks out with Harley Race doesn't give Lex Luger brass knuckles. He don't bring a chain, Russian or American. He don't have a chair. He simply looks at Luger and says, hey, listen to me. Now it's time. It's time. And literally, Lex Luger just snaps out of it, implements the pile driver, and the match is over. And he's just the champ. I'm like, what kind of Vince Lombardi shit is this? Like, what is going on? Like, is he supposed to be like, yo, just win, baby? And then and now it's over? I didn't get that at all, but there were so many questions to be answered.
Real quick. I got to say this part. He said, now it's time to do the pile driver. Like they've been practicing this like the bird on Karate Kid. Like you ain't never did this before. We've been practicing this on the low. Now you got to do it to win this championship. The torture rack ain't going to do it. No. You got a pile driver.
Even though the torture rack got him at the #1 spot of the WCW Top 10. This is what's going to get you the title. Which, hey, I respect it. But, bro, don't come out here and just tell me it's time to use it.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, Now it's time. Now
Yeah.
it's also time for the actual last match of the night.
Yeah. They got to explain this.
Rick Steiner versus Arn Anderson.
Yeah, and Paulie Dangerously. And it ended up being a handicap match.
Yeah.
So listen here. So first things first. Maybe 91. You know, as much as I said, I feel that Brian Pillman is the catalyst, like the godfather of the Attitude Era. I do want to point out to something. I seen Eric Bischoff one time this night, but the first time I seen him this night. He's an announcer. And what he's attempting to do is get an interview with Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt's in the shower. And he's like, yo, I got to get the scoop, though. So he back there trying to get the joint. Missy got the water running. She's screaming. She's throwing deodorant and everything. And I was just like, I can't front. This is an Attitude Era moment. This is an Attitude Era moment by the guy that we don't know is about to take over this company in like 3 years. So, again, don't know. But, you know, hey, look, Virgil Runnels is the executive producer of this program. So, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to give respect where it's due. But it was interesting to see that. And then Arn and Paulie, they cut their promo super early in the match. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Even as I'm watching this, I was like, did they cut something for TV time? Or is this not going to be televised or whatever? But no, sure enough, Arn Anderson and Paulie Dangerously come out. And I was like, is this a make good? Because Flair ain't here? Like, what's up?
So,
like, I don't.
So here's how I'll explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I explain this. I grabbed this from Wikipedia because I wanted to figure out why.
Yeah.
The final match was supposed to pit the Steiner brothers and Missy Hyatt against Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, and Paulie Dangerously. After Barry Windham was moved to the title match following Flair's departure from WCW, and Scott Steiner sustained a bicep injury at the Clash of the Champions, the match was changed to a mixed tag team match pitting Rick Steiner and Missy Hyatt versus Arn Anderson and Paulie Dangerously. Before the match, the Dirty Dicks, aka the Hardliners, kidnapped Missy Hyatt and forcibly took her backstage. Wild. Turning the match into a 2-on-1 handicap match, which Steiner won. In reality, the match was done this way because Maryland State Athletic Commission didn't allow intergender matches.
Hey, so one, Missy Hyatt not making it to the ring because mad dicks on her. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But hey, and that's cool, Maryland. But move this to match number 8 then. I don't care. I don't care. This was not. Hey, and even though I get it, but again, I'm still for Nikita Koloff and Sting being the last match. That was the biggest storyline going into this. You know what I'm saying? Until Flair decided to leave and be like, yo, I'm the real world champion. That's it. But yeah, no, this was I mean, look, it wasn't even long enough to be a mid-pack because it was a handicap match, Rick Steiner and against Arn Anderson and Paulie Dangerously. And of course, you know, like, look, this is that was so unnecessary that they could have did it during the promo that Arn and Paulie cut, because I want to say their promo was longer than this match.
I'm confused on that, however, but I wanted to get your thoughts on that, and even talk about, like, I put on 88 while you was talking, Great American Bash 88, and it just reminded me of the feud between the Chippendales niggas. When I look at the match that I'm looking at right now, I start to say to myself, like, what were we doing here? Yeah. Like, we had a bad guy stripper nigga or stripper niggas versus good guy stripper niggas. The Midnight Express and the Fantastics are is an 80s movie featuring good strippers versus bad strippers, and now we got to fight. They were the same tag team, just different colors. And their whole mantra was get hoes. Like the Midnight Express's mantra was get hoes. The Fantastics were to get hoes, but be nice to fans.
For sure.
And I'm watching this like, yo, like for real, like only difference is that, and this is the no homo moment. Like Bobby Eaton didn't look like he was on hoes. Like Bobby Eaton looked like he was there for the ride. Sweet Stan, like second of all, like the 80s had all of the tag teams that was on hoes, but they looked like they was like regular dudes that play spades at the crib or like play poker. Like I could call myself Sexy Bang and like be legitimate and like, like for real, like this is what we were doing in the 80s, especially if you was a white blonde man. If you was a white dude with blonde hair in the 80s, you could call yourself sweet, hot stuff, fabulous, fantastic,
beautiful,
beautiful, be on hoes. Like it actually be like a heartthrob. Like these niggas will put you in a magazine and shit. You being like Pro Wrestling Illustrated and shit. With a pose like this and shit. And you my size. Like imagine if they call like Pez Watley, you know, sexy beast Pez Watley, and he had that little top hat on his head like this. Woo! They put that nigga up as a pinup. That's crazy. But we haven't not did one of these in a while. I wanted to get Camp's joints off because hey, we need to do this more often. We're gonna do this more often.
No, for sure.
Now with some of the other topics of the show. We called this show Beyonce. Like just naming it what Beyonce causing the evolution because apparently there's controversy coming up on the 12th. So reportedly, allegedly, this is what the internet wrestling community say. We don't normally talk about internet wrestling community or not, but a lot. But I thought this was important. Reportedly, allegedly, women backstage in the WWE are upset about the build of Evolution and not being notified about matches. Now, Sunday, July 13th at Atlanta State Farm Arena, Saturday night's main event will be held. The day before the venue, Great American Bash is going to be at center stage. It's like it's confusion, but Evolution is going to be held the same night as Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour, which is going to be at Mercedes-Benz Arena, which is not far.
Right, for sure.
So they're concerned about viewership and they're concerned about attendance. Now, for those of y'all that's under a rock, Beyonce's been on tour, been selling out venues, been selling out football stadiums, ladies and gentlemen. That little ass State Farm Arena y'all got in Atlanta ain't big enough for Cowboy Carter. We're going to the best stadium or one of the best stadiums in the United States. We perform in Cowboy Carter at Mercedes-Benz Arena. But if you're in Atlanta, you can afford it. You going to see women wrestling? Are you going to see Beyonce?
Yeah. So, okay. I think
this is part one of this.
Yeah. I think what's really got to be explained here in detail is that even though Beyonce is a global superstar, a global mega superstar, I don't think that 51% of more of the women that watch wrestling or the men that take their women to watch wrestling are definitely Beyonce fans.
So, this is while you a twinge of this is right. A twinge of this is white. You heard what I said? The twinge of this is white.
Yes.
We're in the South.
Yeah, true. True.
there's already a lot of white people that are in their feelings right now because Beyonce is on tour doing what they don't consider to be country music.
Facts.
That ain't gonna stop white women to go and see Beyonce. Those same goddamn white women that sitting up there like, that Beyonce, they telling their husband that because their husband like, bitch, country is Waylon Jennings. Not this Beyonce crap. She's yeah, you're right, babe. You're right, babe. Hey, I'm gonna be out with the girls. We're gonna go shopping, and she gonna get in her car and she gonna go over her girl house and she gonna change it into some skimpy cowboy gear with some cowboy boots, the cowboy hat, and she's gonna be singing Beyonce until she get home to her husband. And while he drunk with a 6-pack of Bush beer, like, where you been all night, honey? Thought you was going over Peg's house. John said you wasn't at Peg's house. Oh yeah, you want to go see Beyonce? Like there's that troop. There's also that troop there. That stadium is already sold out. That's what I would say. That stadium is already sold out. Now,
that's fair.
Is it a lot of shit that's going on in the world? Is it? Yeah. Is a lot of stuff that's going to be going on in Atlanta that weekend? Yeah. So my second question is, Saturday night's main event at State Farm, NXT at Center Stage, Evolution at State Farm the next night. The night before that, AEW All In.
Yeah.
It is next week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, is Wrestling Palooza.
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's the problem.
If you are in Atlanta though, and you ain't got unlimited bread, what are you going to see? NXT, Evolution, or Goldberg's last match?
If you're giving me those three options, I'm going for NXT. That's and that's just real. I think there's just too much wrestling, and I mean, there's 52 weeks in the year, and they just sprung this on us. It ain't like it was mad build up. Like they could do this in August. Hey, they can do this in September. Like I made the mistake last week. Like it don't have to be this weekend. And if it's causing so much internal questions and conflict, seems like an even better reason to reschedule it. But I mean, hey, do y'all got the Billies, not me.
The WWE are doing the women a disservice this weekend.
Facts.
It's too much going on. It is too much. If the WWE really thought, this might sound disrespectful to the women, and it's not meant to. Let me say it's not meant to. But ain't no group of women in the WWE gonna be able to compete with Beyonce.
That's a fact too.
And you know why? They are probably more mad at the fact that they gonna be performing at the same time that Beyonce is performing, and they right down the street. They want to be there. They don't want to wrestle. You think Jade Cargill want to wrestle?
Yeah.
She want to go see Beyonce. You think Naomi want to wrestle? You think them black women want to wrestle each other? No. They rather go see Beyonce. And every woman on this card, from JC Jane to Trish Stratus, wants to go see Beyonce. And they are right down the street. You mean to tell me, Triple H, you got me wrestling the same night that I'm down the street from Beyonce? Fam, you tripping. Put NXT at night if you want to do this shit. Put us at night, me in the morning. Put us in the day. Yeah. Put us at 10 a.m. Turn that bitch on like Superstars come on at 11 a.m. Central Time on Fox. That's when Evolution should come. We don't want to be at night. We want to go see Beyonce. She right down the street. If we could get tickets. You mean to tell me we got to wrestle? No. They should have did this shit in the fall.
Yeah.
Sandwich this shit between SummerSlam and Survivor Series.
For sure.
Put that shit in September, October. Don't do this shit when you are billing Goldberg's last match, NXT, and you gonna put us right dab in the middle with Beyonce, and then All In come on Saturday, I think, or Sunday on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We might be wrestling out. I know I would be wrestling out. I don't want to see all that wrestling if I'm in Atlanta and Beyonce is going on. Oh, fam.
Yeah.
No, we want to go see her. We don't want to wrestle.
Yeah, it's gonna
we want
be
to
too
shake
much.
her ass. Imagine Jade Cargill, Naomi, Bianca, Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. Imagine all them in cowboy boots and tiny shorts and tiny tops with cowboy hats on Instagram for Beyonce Cowboy Carter Tour. I guarantee you 95% of the men who gonna watch Evolution will rather see that Instagram post.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be mad chocolate and rhinestones and tassel all mixed together.
Raquel Rodriguez, who this is her time. This is her gear. This is what she wears.
Yeah.
Do you think I that's why I said, oh no, somebody may get mad at me what I'm saying, but it's the honest God truth. You think that the men that's gonna turn on Evolution want to see her wrestle or want to see an Instagram post of her at Cowboy Carter, even though she probably don't go?
Yeah. Hey, what? It's very I don't know. I don't even know what the word is.
I got you, Kemp. I'm gonna help you out because they don't want to wrestle. They would rather do that.
Mm.
And do you think if you're a woman in Atlanta and you can afford it, you would rather see that shit too? No, I would rather go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium with them. I would rather see them at the stadium too. Yeah. It's Beyonce. This is women's. Anytime Beyonce pops up in the city, it's Women's Empowerment Day.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So we gonna wrestle or we gonna empower women? Triple H should have changed the date.
Yeah. Yeah. It's again, they have to make sense of this. Yeah, y'all, because they already killing AEW, so I don't even, you know what I'm saying, with just volume alone. Like, they gotta understand what the play is. There must be some star-studded debut, but then at the same time, I can't say that because they're using a lot of old tricks that kind of sold the first one that ain't really working to sell the second one too. And I think that's the other problem they got.
Yeah, like we can say what y'all can say what y'all want to say about AEW versus WWE. We've said on this podcast before, we don't indulge in that conversation like that because we like wrestling. As long as you entertain us, we gonna watch it. We don't indulge in that conversation. So if y'all want to indulge in the AEW versus WWE conversation, you can. Because in Atlanta, it ain't AEW versus WWE. It is WWE versus Beyonce. No, I'm sorry. Beyonce gonna win all of those matches. If this was a 7-match series, if this was Magnum TA versus Nikita Koloff for the United States Championship, Beyonce would have won that bitch in 4. She would have won it in 4. The only time she might lose, this is maybe. The only time she might lose is if she goes up against WrestleMania. That's the only one. Outside of that. So then it'll be 5-1. There's not a major pay-per-view outside of WrestleMania that Beyonce would lose to. So let's do 5-1. 4-1. Let's do 4-1. Let's do 4-1. She gonna win against SummerSlam. She gonna win against Survivor Series. It's a tough one, but she gonna lose against the Royal. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Beyonce gonna beat SummerSlam.
Yeah. Even the two
She
nights
gon'
too.
Yeah, she gonna beat Survivor Series. That's the route. She gonna route Survivor Series. It's a close one. It'll be a close one, but she'll beat Royal Rumble.
No, for sure.
She gonna lose to WrestleMania, but then she'll beat Money in the Bank. So that's, if you put Beyonce against the WWE, that's how it is. Like, that's how it is. And you know what, Russ? You might be right. WWE probably was like, man, all in. We got to do something. Oh, shit. Oh, God damn it. You got damn it for? Why ain't nobody tell me Beyonce was in Atlanta? Why ain't nobody tell me? We stuck.
Right.
We are stuck. You mean tell me Beyonce is going up, like Beyonce beating Goldberg?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Beyonce is lapping Goldberg. That ain't even that ain't even the question right there.
You put Beyonce in a match with all that's how the match will go. That's how it go. If it's a best of 7, she ain't even getting the 7. She getting the 5th game. She's winning. All right. Go ahead and start praying the champagne. Dancers be in the back dancing and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the announcer coming in and giving Beyonce the belt. That's it. WWE, y'all losing all the time. But we got to do these predictions real quick. So let's go to the Evolution card.
For sure.
JC Jane with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix will be going up against Jordan Grace. JC Jane will be defending the NXT Women's title. Feels like that Jordan Grace has been the uncrowned champion, even with Stephanie Valkyrie there. Yeah. So does Jordan Grace get the belt, or does JC Jane somehow gets away?
No, I mean, hey, listen, spoiler alert, all my predictions for this card will be based on making sure that we feel like we missed it. So Jordan Grace has to win, because it's like, oh my God, how did you miss Jordan Grace winning the NXT Women's Championship? So sorry, I got Jordan Grace.
Yeah, foregone. This is one of those foregone conclusion matches. So yeah, I got that. EO Sky picks now for Evolution. They pick who they want to go against. The champions like, I want to pick.
Yeah.
Who I want to go against. Now I want to go against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley told on Monday, I'm not sure why you want to do that, but I give you what you want. And Rhea Ripley's going to win. Like, there's...
Again. And we noticed that, EO Sky Rhea Ripley has never beaten EO Sky. Until Evolution, when she got handpicked to do so. Yeah. Because, hey, in case you missed it, 2 title changes took place at Evolution. See how great the women's division is, and anything can happen on any given night.
Now we got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who are now the champs. But in order to keep it, they got to defend it against, like I said, the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair train was coming. Then there'd be a team from Raw, and there'd be a team from NXT. There's been rumors about possibly the Inspiration, aka the Iconics, being a team to be up in here, because Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez is already on Raw. So what other women's tag team that you're going to get on Raw? Maybe it's Kairi Sane and Asuka. I don't know. But that was the first 2 that I went up against, but what I thought about. But does Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez keep the belt? Does Alexa Bliss and Charlotte do what I think a lot of people might expect? Or will the other team on Raw or NXT take home the crown?
I'm going to go with the other team. However, I kind of not want to go and stick with Raquel and Roxanne, because obviously we're doing another Judgment Day storyline where the new girl causes the new conflict, but everybody up. So we got to coexist. We keep doing that storyline, and I do kind of feel like it's going to continue to happen. But I also kind of feel like just the other team would just be, again, more shock value. More like, oh wow, so many changes in the women's division. Are you keeping up? So
I'm gonna keep it at Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, just in case. No, I review. I put in my right to change it based off of Russ just said. Reportedly, allegedly, Brie Bella has been in negotiations with the WWE.
See,
Nikki's already back. Nikki was supposed to be wrestling on this joint. If they bring the Bellas back, the Bellas winning the belt.
Yeah.
And they would be the others.
Yep. See, yeah. It's because, hey, look, for me, because this match as presented ain't getting it done for me. So you got to bring in some team that's at least more polarizing than the women that we have already in it, and the titles got to change. So, yeah.
Now, there will be a women's battle royal to determine who will get the championship match or the right to get a championship match at Clash in Paris, which I believe is after SummerSlam. Now, don't know all of the women that's going to be up in here, but I would just say all of the women are going to be in it. So,
for sure. Yeah, that's fair.
When we're talking about Paris, Clash in Paris, who do you feel will win this battle royal? Now, let me go first and saying full disclosure, even though it looks like my guarantee is not going to happen, I'm still going to hang on to that guarantee that it will be Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill at SummerSlam. And that Naomi will cash in on one of those women. But knowing that Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus, Jade Cargill, Naomi are not going to win, who do you feel like is going to win at Clash in Paris?
If Bianca Belair is there, I got Bianca Belair. If she is not there, I'm picking Stephanie Vakir. Yeah, I'll pick Stephanie if she's not. Because that's the odd person out I feel. With the run she just had. So yeah. I'll go Stephanie or Bianca, one of the two.
See, Russ, I would say Blake Monroe, but until they put on the main roster, not gonna do that, even though her going back to Europe and getting a title shot would be dope. I'm gonna stick with Stephanie McQueen.
I mean, but hey.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Stephanie McQueen on this one. That she will get the title shot against Jade Cargill or Rhea Ripley. But that's my pick to win that as well. Tiffany Stratton picked Trish Stratus.
See.
I know that you said that you don't like Evolution because, or you don't like the women's Royal Rumble and stuff when they start going grabbing throwbacks into the match. How do you feel about Trish Stratus though? Like, is Trish Stratus really in that, fam? Like, are we putting Trish Stratus in that category, fam? Like, I'm not, because I don't mind seeing Trish Stratus.
I never mind seeing Trish Stratus.
Oh shit!
But here is the real deal. They starting to, keyword, they starting to just trot Trish Stratus out here like Goldberg, like Rowdy Piper, like who was that? But look, y'all get the idea. Like, they just trotting around. Hey, look, we need to make something happen. We trying to get a blonde over. We trying to be nostalgia for the women that we knew they watched. Like, hey, let's call Trish Stratus to see what she's doing. And look, Trish Stratus still looks amazing. She's still in obviously a great shape, and she's a fan favorite. But come on, she ain't cut one fire promo. The match has been cool, but it's levels. And it's just like, yo, what we doing? What does Tiffany Stratton gain from one, just wrestling Trish Stratus? One, what she get from wrestling her? One, and then two, what she gonna gain by retaining her title against Trish Stratus? Because I'm picking Tiffany. If you haven't guessed, like, what's she gonna do? What does this mean?
So look, Trish Stratus can't do some of the moves. Like, I don't want her to do that chick kick no more. It look like she gonna hurt herself. And that bulldog off the I forgot what that Stratus, whatever it's called.
Stratisfaction.
Like, yeah, Stratisfaction. Like when she does the bulldog after kicking. Every time I see her do that shit, I'm like, damn, she fuck up every time now. But I still don't mind seeing her come to the ring. I don't mind it at all. I'm a P1 Trish Stratus guy. I know she can wrestle. I don't mind it. Let me just say I don't mind it at all. However, kind of make me feel like at least Io Scott pick Rhea.
You know what I'm saying?
At least that. For me, it on surface makes it look like this is an easy cash in for Naomi. And quite honestly, as a member of the First Black Chat podcast, a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that is 8 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, I would rather Naomi go over on the white women. Let me just say this. That means, hey,
there you go.
If it was a perfect time for her to shock the system,
you know what I'm saying?
To make the internet wrestling community mad, to make the community mad, next week in Atlanta, let me just say this now, too, Kim.
Listen.
In Atlanta, hey, Triple H, you say you don't see color, right? That's cool, but you got to know optics. You got to know optics.
Yeah.
Triple H, I say to you, let Trish Stratus win. Let her go over. And she celebrate, oh, it's at our rock and roll. Oh, this in control. And then, yeah, then that new Naomi music come. Or matter of fact, we ain't even got to see her do that. We can just see her on the ground after a long match. Oh. And then that music come on. Naomi run her thick ass down there. And then she get a referee the shit. Then she do the split. Booyah on Tiffany Stratton. Boom. On Trish Stratus. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. In Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Your winner and new WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion, how y'all want to call that shit? Naomi. And the two white women are on the ground looking up like, I can't believe this. Bitch.
And while Beyonce playing down the street. Hey. Listen. Some things right themselves. Some things right themselves.
Talk it, boy. Telling you. Fam, there's no better way. Fam, if this happened, if Naomi defeats Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton in Atlanta on Beyonce weekend while Beyonce is performing, I'm jumping up like that little black boy was jumping up when Ron Simmons won the championship. Do it. Do it. The best situation possible is what we just said here on First Black Champ.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Hey. Because you got to do something. Because it's too much wrestling. So make this make sense for everybody.
That being said, she is wrestling that night, though. So it's really depending on when that match happens.
Hey, listen, we've seen too many times in our lives the person that's either Money in the Bank or the person that's champ. Like, no, like, because Money in the Bank is all purpose. It's all needs. It's like, no, I see my opportunity. Like, she don't need to have 2 matches. she need 1 pin. So no, yeah, we here.
Look, even though I got Naomi beating Jade Cargill,
okay,
I just throw that out there right now. If she beats Jade Cargill, it does set up a rubber match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jade Cargill won at WrestleMania, Naomi win at Evolution, and if she wins at Evolution, they're not going to have her win twice that night.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, if this was the night to do it,
yeah,
this is the night to do it.
Yeah,
this is the time to do it. Beyonce, down the street. You got to do it for Beyonce. But I have Naomi beating Jade Cargill, and I have Tiffany Stratton beating Trish Stratus with no cash in.
Yeah.
Even though what we just said will be the best outcome for all.
Yeah, no, hey, listen, you have the ending that makes Evolution worth the replay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm super anti-scrum, but this would be oh damn, I missed that. Let me check it out now. Let me stay up a little late, at least catch that match. It's something, because they got to get the streams up on this one, because this might suffer, and just because of the unfavorable opinions about it leading up to it, like, they really need a splash here. That's no joke in the slightest.
That would be a splash. That would be a major splash. But yeah, so excuse me, the way it looks right now, though, do you have who you got for the women's championship match? Do you have a cash in? Are you picking a cash in?
No, I don't have a cash in, even though I would like to see one. Obviously Naomi, but yeah, I just, because, well, everything with what I'm saying makes it the perfect layup for a cash in, because I don't see the value in Trish versus Tiffany. I don't see the value of Tiffany wrestling. That doesn't help her out as a wrestler at all. It doesn't help her out on promos at all. Her beating Trish Stratus 20 years after her prime don't matter to me. Her retaining the title, it's just like, there were other women on the roster that could have got this shot. Like, so to be honest, shit, the cash in is probably the thing that needs to happen to make it seem like they didn't waste everybody's time, because this is the main event, ain't it? Yeah.
I don't know what they might have as the main event here, to be honest.
I mean, I'm gonna give Trish top billing and say it is, but even that, like, that, and to me, the way they use Trish is no different from the way they use Charlotte at this point. They just putting them in main event title spots, whether we want to or not. No rhyme or reason, no true storyline other than, hey, I've already been great, so I'm back to be great again. And yeah, no, shoot, Naomi is actually we need Naomi after hearing what you had to say and really thinking about what's the benefit of this match. We need Naomi. We need to see Naomi twice, and we need to see her leave with the belt, and then drive right over to Cowboy Carter and just be out there backstage with the belt.
Hey, she was at the BET Awards with the belt, with the Money in the Bank.
Hey, see, make your rounds.
So let's stop playing around. Let's do it. Saturday night's main event. We have those matches for Saturday night's main event, starting with Drew McIntyre versus Randall Keith Orton. I got Drew McIntyre coming back in this one. I got Drew McIntyre because I think Randy Orton is close to at least having the situation where he might have to revert back to old. Not saying he needs to turn heel. He's going to always be a tweener, but at least revert back to old Randy Orton. He know in order for him to be who he is, he has to revert back to old Randy Orton. So I got Drew McIntyre winning this match. Who you got?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that because Randy Orton. I like when Randy Orton goes on losing streaks because that means he's about to do something super dope and really turn the corner. So I appreciate that. I got Drew as well.
Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Yeah. This might put a wrinkle in the whole thing with Gunther versus Goldberg if we go by what I said earlier. Whereas could you see somebody winning twice in one night, doing that and cashing in? If it's any day that I think it could happen, it is on Saturday. Because I do have Seth Rollins winning this match versus LA Knight. Yeah.
All right. One I want to say, and I think we talked about this, maybe it was right after Money in the Bank or right before, but this is what I was talking about is what LA Knight needs. LA Knight needs Seth Rollins. And this feud is going to be great for him. However, I got this first match ending in a DQ. I got a DQ win for LA Knight. Yeah. I like that.
All right. And we have the World Heavyweight Championship, which should not take long to do. Gunther versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. For shits and giggles, I'm just going to pick Goldberg.
Okay. Hey, well, since I know you're not serious, I want to see the over-under on Goldberg getting injured on the way to the ring versus him actually getting injured in the ring by trying to spear Gunther and hurting himself. That's what I'm here to see. But either way, I got Gunther. Go ahead, just choke him out, bro. You don't even need to do all the power bombs, even though I would love to see it. I love to see him lariat the hell out of dude and then like power bomb him and really end it. But just choke him out, man. Put that old thoroughbred right out in the pasture. Get him the fuck out of here. Gunther, ringing it out. Let's go.
Either way it go, as I stated before, cash in coming. I don't think they're gonna do it with Naomi having her win the match and then cash in later that night. But no matter if it's Goldberg or Gunther, I think Seth Rollins is cashing in. Do you feel like Gunther's gonna win and there's a cash in? Like, let me put the same scenario for you. If he puts Goldberg to sleep, then as he's about to get up, Seth Rollins curb stomps him.
There's a potential for that, but since I got the DQ win for LA Knight, I got LA Knight doing everything that he can to stop him from cashing in just because. Because what I think is happening while Seth Rollins is obviously on the quest to get the title, Seth Rollins is now being chased by LA Knight, who wants the fade and a title and essentially needs it. So I think because Money in the Bank is exactly what it is, we got time for Seth Rollins to sidebar and put LA Knight over wrestling wise, since he's done the job of getting himself over as a character, as Cody Rhodes would say, the last 2 years.
Interesting. And we ain't got to pick it, but here are the matches so far for Great American Bash. Sol Ruka, Nubian Queen, Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dane. Jordan Grace will be wrestling at Great American Bash, along with Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May, versus the Fatal Influence, JC Jane and Fallon Henley, with Jasmine Nix. And Oba Femi versus Yoshiki Inmara. I'll be pronouncing these Asian names wrong. With Josh Briggs. Since I am a NXT watcher, I have Sol Ruka winning, Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe losing. Winning. And I got Obafemi winning, but Josh Briggs turning on his tag team partner. Because he pissed.
I gotta get my ass back on the NXT. I be seeing clips on like Instagram. I don't even have it on YouTube. I gotta check back in. For sure.
So y'all know what time it is. It is close to the end of the episode. And since we are there, we have to ask a couple of questions of Do We Care? Segment that we do ask a couple of questions to see about if we care or not. New tag team champions, Judgment Day, and they got all of the gold. They have the women's tag titles. They have the Raw tag team titles. They have the Intercontinental Championship. The only thing, that they don't have is the World Championship. So now that the New Day are not the champs, do we care about the New Day? And I saw something today that said that this is quite possibly the worst heel turn of all time. So do we care about the New Day and how we feel about this heel turn now that they don't have the belts?
Man, so I'm gonna go out on the limb and say that we do care about the New Day. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say that we just don't like the work they're doing. And worst heel turn of all time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because nobody in my wrestling lifetime has ever gotten over for just telling somebody, hey, we don't mess with you no more. Get out of here. You don't mean nothing to us. And they got over in like literally 2 minutes. So the fact that the New Day made people hate them for not even laying a finger on the person of interest, it is automatically disqualified from being the worst heel turn of all time for me.
I don't care about the New Day anymore because they have not given us a reason to care. Outside of Big E, I won't say that this is the worst heel turn. I think this is the worst planned heel turn. What was the reason other than the Big E thing? You should have laid hands. Like, nobody said drop him on his neck, but punch him in the stomach or something. But the whole thing with Kofi is the thing that I hate. Xavier Woods, quality heel to me. To me, Xavier Woods has untapped potential. And that untapped potential is heel potential. He's the dude. Remember when JBL and Ron Simmons broke up? And then the next week, we got JBL?
Yeah.
Like, we went from Bradshaw to JBL, and they had told him, like, yo, you need to switch it up, or you're going to be next up.
Yeah.
And then they broke up, and then he shaved his hair and came out with a suit and a cowboy hat, and you was like, okay. Xavier Woods, to me, has that potential.
I'm with you.
To where he could break up with Kofi Kingston, and then the next week give us something else that makes us interested and be a title contender. I truly believe that Xavier Woods has that. The problem is Kofi, and this is nothing against Kofi, I just don't see Kofi as a bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a heel. I don't see Kofi as somebody that's dastardly enough to hate him. I don't even see him as a tweener. To me, Kofi Kingston going heel is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat going heel. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
And I'll believe it when I see it. And then when I see it, I'm like, what are we doing here? That's how I feel about that. About this. I don't care about the New Day anymore. I care about Xavier Woods. And I believe that Xavier Woods could be pissed on Monday, beat the shit out of Kofi, Big E say, hey man, but, and then he get kicked in the stomach, and now you have a heel on your hands who's going to speak it, talk it, live it. As long as they don't make him a video game playing heel, I'm all straight. Chad Gable was out. He had surgery. He's going to be out for the foreseeable future. So on Raw, we saw El Grande Americano pop up. But he was a lot slender. He was a lot taller. Reportedly, allegedly, Ludwig Kaiser is going to be taking that character over. Without Chad Gable in the picture, do we care about American Made? Do we care about El Grande Americano?
No and no. The biggest sell of El Grande Americano for me was Michael Cole and Pat McAfee arguing that it is or is not Chad Gable. So I don't need the mask, like, for real. And I mean, shoot, I have money on Ludwig Kaiser, man. He was one of my picks, I think, not this year, but maybe last year, to have a breakout year, and he was on his way. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more of a disservice to him. But I don't have a better fix. Because look, they ran Chad Gable into the ground, making him do double duty, and now they think the character that he created is more popular than the dude that had a little buzz. So,
Guarantees. What you got?
Oh man, Guarantees for me this week. I don't know. Everything feels so predictable right now. I was trying to figure out one between Lyra and Bailey. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Now that match, don't know if they're gonna put that on the bill.
Yeah.
It ended in a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so don't know if they're gonna make that a triple threat match, which quite honestly would make that match the main event to me.
One, right? So there's that. And then also, though, there's gonna be two definitive heels leaving that match. And I won't lie, Bailey and Lyra, they're kind of confusing me on who it's gonna be.
I'm telling you now. I've said this. This was actually guaranteed a couple of weeks ago. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch are going to be a group together.
That's right. But yeah, so other than that, man, I don't know. I just don't have much. There's so much wrestling going on, and there's so many stories to be told. I don't have a fire guarantee. That's why I don't want to give y'all one. I'm sorry. I ain't got no fire this week.
I'm going to just go ahead and kill one of mine to make a new one. When we do this pod next week, it'll be a new women's champion.
There it is.
Or before we do it, it would be a new women's champion. I think that Naomi's going to win the championship. I'm just going to say, fuck it. If it was any weekend to do it, it's Beyonce night. Steal some of that thunder with black women. You know what I'm saying? Steal some of that thunder with black women. Make them feel like they missed something. You went to go see Beyonce? Well, bitch, look at what we did. Hey. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that one. By Sunday night, Naomi will be the women's champion, and she's going to take the belt away from Tiffany Stratton or Trish Stratus. Either one.
I dig it. Not mad at it. As long as we get a new black champ, man, everybody should be at bay, be kind of tame. So that's awesome.
It's about that time. Man, so about time we also do this podcast, man. We will be officially on 8 years.
Yeah, man. Oh wow, yeah. Because July 9th.
Between this, yeah. Just, I mean, today is the 6th. So yeah, so next week we will be celebrating 8 years of first black champ. Yeah, so this is gonna be, now if we get to celebrate with Naomi being the champion, that would be perfect timing.
Absolutely.
That would be
Absolutely.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about Russ AEW. You know what? For Russ, you know what? For you, I'm gonna do it because I know Camp don't watch it. I'm going to do all-in predictions for you.
And I'm still gonna make an attempt. Watch this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for you, Russ. Because I watched AEW the other day, and I watched it all in, and I was like, what are we doing here? And then plus the fact that Bobby Lashley ain't the champ is still irritating me. So we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna go with the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, the dude that wrestled with no shoes but the pads on his ankles. And the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, a three-way tag team title match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Hurt Syndicate, that was easy for me. Who you got?
Never going against Bobby. Come on, man. The greatest black champ ever.
And we go. We got Adam Cole, baby, who's looking better. Look, he's getting closer to Adam. He's closer to the good Adam Cole than we were with this shit that we got when he got here. Versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW TNT Championship. I'm going to go with Kyle Fletcher here. It is time for him to hold the belt in AEW. I'm going to go with Kyle Fletcher. Who you got?
Since you have informed me that Adam Cole is on the ups, I think we need to keep him up. So I'm going to stick with Adam Cole, baby.
Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks.
No.
If Will and Swerve win, the Young Bucks will be stripped of their executive vice president titles. But if they lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 year.
Oh.
Young Bucks win.
Yeah. I hate these clowns. Fuck the Bucks. But yeah, come on, man. You see them stipulations. Come on. They're gonna win the match. See, that's what I don't like about AEW. Every once in a while, they start weaving in some politics.
Ooh,
this is why CM Punk ain't there. This is why CM Punk ain't there.
Oh man. Casino Gauntlet. I don't give a shit for both the men and the women, but I'll just pick some shit. I'll say Will Hobbs for the future men's world championship, and I'll say Mina for the women's. I'll say she'll win. Outside of that, you know what? No. Willow Nightingale is gonna win the Casino Gauntlet for the women. Why? Because I love Willow Nightingale. She's the happiest wrestler that I've seen in my life. I love Willow Nightingale.
Now, look, I haven't seen Willow since NWA, but I'll go with Willow. I like Willow.
There you go. Okada versus Omega. Winner takes all match to unite the two belts that are the same in the goddamn first place. It is it's a match to unify the Continental and the International. So these motherfuckers separated the Intercontinental Championship basically and made it International and Continental. And they're going to combine it to create the AEW Unified Championship. Now, World Championship, just a unified championship, which makes no sense to me, but I got Okada beating Omega.
Yeah, I'll take Okada as well. Hey, if Darby Allin in that casino thing, I like Darby. I
just want Darby to like himself. John Moxley will be defending the championship versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. To make us understand that Hangman Page ain't playing, he clotheslined Mina Sharif on Wednesday. Ooh, like a woman ain't never got clotheslined by a man. I got Hangman Page winning his belt.
No, I'm sorry. Hangman Page versus who again? I'm sorry. I was laughing at something.
Biggest John Moxley.
Oh, I mean, look,
John Moxley defending the belt.
Listen, Mox, right? I'm not gonna go against him because he seems to be the Sean Hogan warrior. No, the ultimate Sean Hogan of AEW. So I'm gonna go Mox.
Hey, all I know is this: Mox will bleed about 2 minutes into the match.
Absolutely.
In a match that definitely should be the main event, Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's World Championship. If Mercedes Moné wins, she will add yet another championship around her waist because she holds various women's championships, including the TBS championship. I got Mercedes Moné winning this match.
Really?
Or, as the internet community is calling her now, Mercedes Hogan.
Mercedes Hogan is hilarious.
She didn't like that shit either.
But without me seeing anything but like outside of like one promo on them, this is actually something I've seen. I'm still gonna go Toni Storm only because I really do feel like she actually might be the best woman wrestler out right now. She literally just might be. And just from top to bottom, I'm talking about character, promo, wrestling matches. She really might be the best. So,
yeah. Still, it's like
Mercedes Hogan is wild though.
Yeah, look, man.
Monet Mania
she currently holds the TBS World Championship, the C-Mill Women's Championship, the CW Pan Octic Championship, the EWA Women's Championship, and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. So she is on her she's on her Ultimo Dragon shit right now.
So yeah, how she win a strong style title? That's crazy.
Hey,
I gotta watch. I'm gonna have to Google. I'm gonna have to YouTube some of this.
Yeah, YouTube some of that shit. But we'll see what happens next week as we celebrate 8 years, 8 of them things.
You know what I'm
First
saying?
Black champ. So wow. Camp, it is off.
Man, as we are on the runway to 8 years, man, hey, I'll save the real intro for later when we actually cross the finish line. But man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for being a part of this. All your contributions to the community are greatly appreciated. I'm going to reflect on that. But man, hey, listen, Meg and I can do this by ourselves, but we choose not to because you have all made it such a great and safe space for us to do what we do. So always remember, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. It's the pick with the VP, DOC, and we are out. And fuck that scary punk Johnny Wrestling.
I'm about to go get some drugs.